For the Week 9 activity, we are returning to the subject of introducing and citing sources. We practiced a little of this earlier on. This week we're returning to it, and then we'll keep working on how to incorporate sources into the body of your paper, as this is an area that most instructors feel their students are weakest in. So I want to make sure we have a good amount of practice working with sources, introducing them properly, citing them properly, and then commenting on them properly. That way a source is fully integrated and your research papers don't wind up being just a collection of quotes all strung together. So this will probably be done in 2 videos, maybe 3, so that I can keep them fairly short and they'll load on Blackboard more easily. So what I'm going to spend some time doing is walking through how to use sources. And remember, this week we're continuing on with writing in the social sciences, which means we're using APA formatting. As far as introducing the sources, that's going to be similar in MLA as well, but the way that you do the citations in APA is just a little bit different. All right, so I have here my source, 3 authors, Stark, Lassiter, and Quemper. And this is an article from an educational journal, and it is formatted in APA as well. So here's my APA citation, and here is my paragraph that I'm going to be using. So the 3 things that you should do when you use sources is introduce the source, cite it, preferably in paraphrasing. We want to minimize our use of quotations, quoting only when we absolutely have to have that word choice or that phrasing of a particular passage that's so important that we don't want it to be taken out of context. For the most part, though, we're looking for students to paraphrase writing. That shows us that you have internalized what you've read, that you understand it thoroughly, and you're not just patch writing, which is just stringing quotations together. Once you've got your source in, the reader wants to know what was the point of that source. Why did you use it? Why did you cite that particular information? So there has to be some kind of comment. You're sort of engaging in a dialogue with that source material. Maybe the source material is supporting your argument. Maybe it's something you're arguing against, but the reader needs to know that. It's not our job as readers to figure out why you presented that source material. It has to be very clear, and to make it clear, generally you should comment on it. So let's see how this works. I've chosen a section here. I think it's kind of this area where let's see, a survey shows that that there is a growing body, here we go, growing body of research that suggests little to no differences between face-to-face classes and online classes in terms of effectiveness in learning. All right, so I need to put that in my own information. This is information I feel like is important. I want to use it in my paper. I first have to introduce the authors. Okay, so here are the 3 authors: E. Stark, A. Lassiter, and I'm going to show you what we do with this and in a little bit, A. Quemper. And I have to provide the date of the publication. This is just how APA prefers to do things. We don't see first names used in APA. Again, that's just a stylistic choice that the American Psychological Association, APA, has determined they want to use for journals that use their style sheet. All right. I've also explained who these authors are. Why did I select these particular authors? Who are they? What institution do they work for? What is their area of expertise? Anything that sort of gives your readers an understanding of why you thought this source was one you'd want to use. So in red here, E. Stark, A. Lassiter, and A. Quemper, all professors at Minnesota State University, explained that although the argument exists that online education is not as effective as face-to-face learning, research indicates that this is not so. And I found that information on page 270. In APA, you put a P period 270, your page number, in parens, and then the period. In MLA, you would just have the page number 270. And remember, this only applies if there is an actual page number. This came from a PDF, which is really just a journal that's been scanned in page by page, just like photocopies, so I can see the page numbers. If you don't have page numbers, then you don't use them. APA traditionally has only asked that writers put page numbers when they have quoted something directly. That's beginning to change. It's not yet required that a page number be provided when you paraphrase, but they are suggesting that you do so, and I'd like to see the page numbers, and so would most instructors. So even though I put this in my own words, I put the page number in MLA style, just looking forward to doing it the way the APA seems to be moving. A couple other items, and then I'll stop this one and pick up another video. Note in APA, first names are not used. Talked about that, using the year of publication. Page numbers, we talked about that. And in general, the word "and" in a list of authors is replaced with this this "and" symbol. All right, so you can see I've used it down here, but I wanted to leave the first one so I could point it out to you. All right, so I'm going to stop this video and start another one with my next point.